Hello friends of the homestead, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute now, actually not too long. I think it was about 2 weeks now since I've posted my last video. I have been very busy and I'm actually very exhausted and very tired. I managed to get a job in the local hotel, so finally I have some actual income, some kind of steady and somewhat secure income from cleaning in a hotel. It's a housekeeping job. It's exactly what I've been looking for. It's part-time. I can do as many or as little hours in a week that I can give, and they're kind of flexible. I can just tell the manager what I can work and what days I really can't work, and it works out. They're very flexible. They allow me to do the school runs in the morning and then come in after, so I'm not on the clock. I don't have to be there at a certain time, so that is really nice. It gives me exactly what I needed for the moment. The money is urgently needed now with the wet weather and the cold weather. We actually have a lot of mold growing in the house, and we were told that we need a new insulation in the attic, which is going to be costly, so we kind of gonna have to start saving up for that, which is really annoying. It's just with this house, there's constantly something that needs to be fixed, and then you fix one thing and then the next thing is just coming up. For example, we did the windows at the beginning of this year, and we thought it's going to solve all the problems with like the house being so cold and the dampness and the mold on the ceilings, but it actually made it worse, because now that the windows are properly sealed, there is no air stream coming in anymore. And that obviously makes the condensation along the house walls, the outside walls, so much worse. And it's just so frustrating. But that's how it is on a homestead, or even just if you have a house, I guess. It is being a homeowner. There's always something that needs fixing, and nothing is cheap these days. Isn't it wild how expensive everything is? It's just mind-blowing. Like, how can people survive? And it just continues to get worse and worse and worse every year. There needs to be a stop. There needs to be an end to it, You'd almost be hoping for a recession in a way, Anyhow, besides the new job, that is physically very exhausting. So please always be nice to the housekeepers in the hotel. They're doing a really tough job. So yeah, besides that, I've also had my first market. That was just, what day is today? Today's Friday, so it was just last weekend. Only a few days ago. It feels like it's a lifetime ago. Anyway, the market was brilliant. There wasn't a lot of people and I didn't make a lot of sales. However, I did actually get to network a little bit. I met new people. I met another flower farmer from a neighboring village. I met the organizers of this festival and the market. They invited me back for next year to even do a little workshop. So now I have that idea of starting to do workshops next year for the flowers, the dried flowers, whatever comes to mind. I have a couple of ideas that I'm working on, and it kind of, it gets the ball rolling, and it's just the next step in my business journey as a flower farmer. While I did only make a little bit of extra cash, I did open new doors for my future as a business owner. And now I have about another 4 weeks time to prepare for my first Christmas market. So that's going to be exciting too. That's, I guess, the good part about that I didn't sell so much last weekend, because I have a lot of stock and I only need to prepare a few Christmassy things. But other than that, I think with all my dried flowers, I should be set enough to have a successful Christmas market. Supposedly that market is quite popular and there's a lot of footfall, as they say, so hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be another little bit of cash coming in that we can put into our emergency fund to fix our insulation in the roof. Now, in regard to YouTube, because that's what kind of the series is mostly about, trying to get my YouTube channel monetized to make a little bit of extra cash. because I was so quiet the last 2 weeks, not much has happened on my channel. I didn't post any reels, or what are they called, shorts, sorry, confusing with Instagram. Why do they all use different names, seriously? Anyway, so I didn't reply to any comments, I didn't post anything, and I just didn't even log on to YouTube really. And I'm just going to keep it short today because, as I said, not much has happened. And I also have no idea where my microphone is. With all my creative stuff lying around, I'm kind of starting to lose things. It's probably buried underneath a pile of, you know, paints and dried flowers or whatever. So I managed to grow my channel to 288 subscribers so far. Thanks so much for every single one of you. I'm very delighted that you're following along. And by now, I've also almost garnered 600 watch time hours, which is super exciting. As a reminder, we need 4,000 watch time hours and 1,000 subscribers in order to be monetized. So still very far off from that, but it is it is growing, and we just got to give it time. Now let me look back. When did I post my first video? I think it was the 31st of August. Yes. And we are now at the beginning of November. So I just counted the weeks there. We're almost at 10 weeks that I'm online on YouTube. And obviously, considering I haven't really done anything the last 2 weeks, it's kind of, you know, but it's that up and down. I mean, you have to do what you can. I am committed to the channel and I want to continue this. But sometimes you just have to give yourself a little break, right? And with a new job, I'm really like physically exhausted. I'm just coming home after 6 hours of doing this. And I'm just so tired. I sit on the couch and all I want to do is sleep. So it is something that I will have to get used to first. And I have to kind of find my new rhythm. And hopefully I can get back into the consistency of YouTube. I have a couple of ideas. I really just need to find the time to get out and to actually do it, and then also record it at the same time. We'll be getting back into the shorts definitely now, hopefully this week. If it's just a few snippets, I'm gonna share a few pictures of my market and what my stall looked like, and everything else that's going on in the garden and in the polytunnel, etc. But someone did comment on one of my videos where they said that the algorithm on YouTube is actually way more forgiving than people think. It'll be grand, as they say in Ireland. It'll be grand. I leave it as that, and I thank you for watching. Just wanted to let everyone know that I haven't disappeared and I'm still hustling. I'm just hustling a little bit harder, and so I'm a little bit more tired. Yeah, but we won't give up. If you're in a similar situation, do not give up. You can do it. We can all do it. It's all worth it. And I will see you again. Until then, bye.